Good morning, Ian Quick with Millionaire by 50. Today is Tuesday, June 30th. Ah, wow, look at this here. COVID here, yay. We spent the last week talking about the seven natural laws of the universe, which is important to know, which is important to integrate. But now the point is, once we understand these, we review them regularly. How do we actually go about getting rich? Well, this isn't a business course, obviously. I'm going to have to figure out my own stuff. Everybody does. But one thing you do need as you move on is a purpose. You know, it's great to say, oh, laws of the universe, think positive thoughts, set your vibrations, and all that stuff. But what are you actually setting your vibrations to? And I think most people would naturally just say, well, I'm trying to get rich. All right, great. A, generic. B, I think probably misguided. Being rich for the sake of being rich is not a purpose. I know for some it is. Uh, they can't see past the money. And what essentially that means is they want money because it's status and power, right? You know, I think we can all think of certain individuals who are like that. And while they may accomplish it through other means, getting rich, I don't know that they're actually happy or they actually do any good in the world. You need to have a purpose first. And your purpose is something that should obviously be a benefit to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but if it can be a benefit to the world, to give more to the world in general, uh, then all the better because you're contributing to the betterment of mankind. And if you really know what your purpose is and you work hard at it and you get good at it, you will vibrate within that purpose and you will attract whatever it is that purpose is to fulfill, which will attract wealth none the same. Because here's the beauty of wealth. Um, Money allows you to do your purpose. Think about it. If you have no money, you have to spend your whole time just trying to survive, just trying to eat, just trying to find shelter. Surviving is not living. If you have lots of money, you have all the time in the world and all the resources to do what it is you want. Now, if you just want to collect money and do nothing, it's a wasted life. But if you want to use that money, use that time to advance your purpose, that's fantastic. Now, your purpose doesn't have to be all noble and heroic. Some are, some aren't. But you have to contribute something. For example, my wife's purpose is very different from mine in a certain sense. Hers is really about helping people fulfill their purposes in a way. Um, I won't go into details, but she's really good at helping people, and people notice that. They see that she genuinely is trying. She's not in it for the paycheck, she's in it to watch people grow in their businesses, and therefore the paychecks just kind of naturally flow because people are willing to pay for this. So, my purpose is kind of twofold, but kind of related. I actually have two jobs. Well, they're not jobs. One is a job, and one is a career I've created for myself. First is the job. I actually teach part time at a local college. I like to teach. I like to inform. I like to mold. I like to have people. I like to give people that moment and understand something. And I think personally, not to brag, but I think teaching is a very noble profession because you're helping people grow. I teach in the performing arts program at Algonquin College, which leads me to my main purpose and my main career choice. I am a professional entertainer. I predominantly work in the field of magic, balloon twisting, and cosplaying, but I entertain. And some people say, well, entertaining, is that really a purpose? Here's why I entertain. When I started doing magic, at first I gotta admit I was a bit of a smarty pants and I wanted to know how magic works because I I wanted to know the secret, and then it was like, I know something you don't. But that honestly got tired very quickly. Um, and instead it was replaced by enjoying that sense of wonder I could give people. When I performed something and they were just like, oh my God, how did you do that? And for that moment, people become like a kid again. They're not thinking about their problems at work, their mortgage payments, the conflicts at home. They're not thinking about how life can be hard, all this, all that. They become a kid again and they just live in the sense of wonder. It's like, oh my God, how did you do that? And the pure, unadulterated joy that inhabits them, even if it's just momentary, is absolutely phenomenal. Um, I love to give people that sense of wonder, that sense of thrill. And of course, through the years, couple that with a good sense of humor. So giving people laughs and just letting them enjoy themselves and enjoy life. I think that's a noble cause too. And let me tell you why. Um, we've been going through so much right now. I mean, the world's been on lockdown for what seems like forever. It's been 3.5 months. Now, some people are doing fine in this, but some people have lost their livelihoods. A lot of people have lost their lives. Uh, a pessimist would say the world is just a harsh, unforgiving place. So, giving someone a little bit of joy in these times of trouble, or really in any time, uh, that's wonderful. That's like a boost for the soul. It just recharges you. It makes things seem better, and in fact, they are better. The more you live in happiness, the better the world feels, and the better the world becomes around you. So my purpose is to generate that sense of happiness, pleasure, fun, enjoyment, whatever it is. And I think that kind of ties in with the education too, because when I teach performing arts to students, they not only get that feeling for themselves when they learn something new and they try new acting exercise and they have fun with it, but then it turns, I'm sending more people out in the world who may share my purpose and try to make this world a happier place. Now, great. Your purpose is to make people happy this way. How does that attract wealth? Well, I don't want to brag, but I'm quite good at what I do. I mean, I'm sure there are probably better people out there, right? Law of relativity. Some people are probably better skilled one way. Some people have better jokes, but some people are seriously worse. It depends on what it is. I might be the best at something and mediocre at something else. But the point is, overall, I'm actually relatively quite good at what I do, to the point where people are willing to pay me a lot of money to do what I do. And through the years, I've been growing this business of mine, this entrepreneurship. And every year, I've been getting busier because the word spreads. People see me, they tell their friends, the kids go home, Mommy, Daddy, I saw this, I want this for my birthday. Um, and it spreads and it grows. And I'm sharing that wave of happiness and joy, and in return, people are sharing their wealth with me to have that experience. That is my purpose, and that is what I focus on. Now, if we go back to the law of cause and effect, my purpose is kind of the effect. This is what I want to do. And this is what I want to do to make money at it. So now I'm going to think about the cost. How do I do this? Well, the more I improve my shows, or the more I improve my service to potential audiences, making myself more accessible to them, increasing my marketing to making them more aware of me, um, expanding in the variety of services my company offers to provide entertainment and so forth, the more I grow. The more I grow, the more wealth comes back my way. It's that simple. When I started this particular business, my brand is birthdaypartymagic.ca. When I started that, I was alone. It was just me doing magic and balloons. And now, I want to say 7 years later, I've got um, a whole slew of services that I don't even do myself. Staff does. I've got a lot of subcontractors working for me, a lot of them exclusively for me. And on a typical busy summer weekend, this year is the exception, uh, I'll have staff out there all over the place doing stuff while I'm out doing my own shows because I'm just not available to do it myself because we're that busy. And nothing prevents me from keeping to doing that and expanding on that. And as long as my focus is on that purpose to improve how I bring joy to the world, I will always have clients. I remember my parents are in their 80s and they come from a whole generation where work was about job security. Make sure you have enough to provide for your family. It wasn't about personal happiness, it was about job security. Now, fortunately, my dad was lucky enough to love what he did, so he got the best of both worlds. But the basic driving principle behind them, their purpose was job security, provide for your family by any means. Don't get me wrong, that's very important to me. I'd never want my daughter to grow up starving or lacking shelter or anything like that, so I will always put her needs ahead. But I know that I can put her needs ahead by doing what I love anyways. So my focus has never been about job security. It's been about fulfilling my purpose. And my parents didn't get that at first. They're like, how are you going to make a living as a magician? And this is ridiculous. Well, we all know in this day and age, job security is not real. I mean, in the last decade, I've seen so many people. Um, Ottawa's a big government town, so government job layoffs, companies downsizing, and so forth. And hey, that job security you had because you've been with the company for 30 years, company goes away, you're done. And then a lot of places consider you too old to hire because they know you're going to retire soon. You know, places want to hire people in their 20s and 30s. They don't want to hire people in their 50s and 60s unless it's places that are used to high turnover. But you know what? I think most people don't want to be a greeter at Walmart. They do it because they have to. That's not um, that's not job security. But focusing on what you love, what you need to accomplish your purpose, and doing it well will draw the wealth regardless. And in a day, and now I can imagine all the layoffs with COVID happening. There are a lot of people out there who can no longer earn income. Me, I will always have the means to earn income because I have a skill that I've learned to fulfill my purpose. And it's a rare skill, and there will always be a demand for that skill. So, because of that demand, I can always fulfill my purpose and earn income. And that's a great feeling. That's what draws wealth. And looking back on the last 7 years of growth with this particular brand of my business, I've always increased my wealth annually. And I'm going to keep doing so. The difference is with following the natural laws of the universe now and reprogramming my paradigms, I'm going to increase that wealth much faster than I used to. It's an exponential curve, and I'm about to do this. I'm about to really pass that curve where the apex starts to go more vertical than horizontal. And that's an exciting thing. I'm very happy about that. But right now, if you're watching and you don't know what your purpose is, figure out your purpose first, because following the natural laws in the universe without a purpose will keep you in a good place, but it will not draw what it is you want because you don't know really what it is you want. Now, that purpose alone is the foundation of stuff. What you want is another subject matter altogether, which we'll actually talk about tomorrow. I'll explain the difference then. But for today, I'm going to wrap this up with my gratitudes. I am grateful. This might seem shallow, but nonetheless, I am grateful that I have a hair appointment today. Yay! Whenever they started lifting the restrictions, we called our hairdresser, and this was the earliest I could get it. I had to wait several more weeks, but I mean, this thing is huge. I almost feel like I can do Wolverine here. But I am finally getting a haircut today, and I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful that my daughter is going back to her private daycare today. We pulled her out when this first started a long time ago, obviously for safety reasons. And even when the restrictions were lifted, we opted to wait a few extra weeks just to see if there were any spikes or flare-ups happening from all this. But things seem to be fine in this area. So tomorrow she goes back, and or today I should say, she goes back because she's very excited. She gets to see her little friends again that she hasn't seen in a long time. And that's going to make her happy. And for that, I am very grateful. On that note, I will talk to you guys tomorrow about, what did I say? What we want. Thank you so much.